You said all season you want to do one better than you did last year. You did that.
We did, yes, and we've had a great year. There's no doubt about that. And finished off with an outstanding performance against a very good Featherstone team. And as you say, we sat down in November last year. You know, how can we achieve more than what we achieved last year? Because last year we probably as best season to date, and you know, we've done it. We got to the semi-final in the Northern Rail Cup, and I thought we were harshly treated there. And then we get to the final again, and we wanted to put the wrongs right, and I think we certainly did that against Featherstone at the weekend. And there were some outstanding performances, and you know, we played the game in the right fashion, and we went around as business very clinically. And I thought that, you know, the breaking point, I mean, you know, everyone's going to talk about that try, probably one of the best tries you would ever see for lots of reasons. Where did Mr. Talapapa come from? He plays on the right-hand wing, and yet he turned up on the left-hand side and put the ball to Scotty Turner, who put it on to, obviously onto Q. So, you know, there are lots of reasons. But the last 17, we completed every set of 6 out of the last 17. Every set. So we did grind them down. And I was speaking to Daryl after the game. He says, we just couldn't get anything off you. You wanted it. You got the will, the want, the desire to win it, and we certainly did that. And I thought that the boys have got to take a lot of credit. The backroom staff throughout the club's been fantastic, and have we got it right again? Well, we'll probably tick that box and say yes, we have. You know, we built up for the Northern Wales, you know, to try and do really, really well on that, and then we built back up for the grand final, and we still had plenty of juice in the tank right up to the last second, and then it was emptied.
I mean, Featherstone beat everybody in front of them in the last 2 years, but they didn't beat the Eagles this year.
Yeah, we took a lot of pride out of that, you know, because they're a fantastic team, and coached by a great bloke in Daryl and Ryan Sheridan, and you know, they've won the championship the last 3 years. They've been into the grand final the last 3 years, so you know, we're always going to be a tough one. But they haven't beat us this year, and it's something that they'll never take away from us. We had a great and high-scoring victory at their place, 60-40, and then a 28-28 draw at John Valley, which, you know, we could have and should have won that as well. But, you know, it was all in the final, wasn't it? And they were certainly up for it. And, you know, they went out hammer and tongue, and we did. And, you know, we showed a lot of resolve. And I think we just keep turning up. As I've said, for the last month, our defence has been outstanding. And they, against a quality team like that, they only scored 2 tries. We had a plan. We executed the plan to perfection, and again, the boys have got to take a rap on that. You know, we can only show them, we can only preview and tell them how we think should play. They've got to do that, and I thought they did it. And there's a lot of people that can hold their heads up high this year and say, you know, we've had a great year, and I've been part of that. And you know, there's like any game, any sport, is that people are going to leave now. But you know, I played in the '98 with people like Paul Broadbent and some of the guys, Keith Sean and all that. We don't need to phone each other. You've just got that glint in your eye that every time you see each other that you know, and you just wink at each other and say, 98, what a special year. Well, you know, the 2012 Sheffield Eagles can do exactly that, and be really proud of them. And you know, I've been proud of them, what they've stood for this year, and you know, they've got what they wanted, which was to do a little bit better than we did last year, and they can enjoy that for the next week or so, and then we'll be, you know, building back up to you know, trying to do it again next season.
Apart from the grand final, what's your highlights from this year?
I think there's been lots, and I think the playoff, all the way through the playoffs, we've been outstanding. We played Batley, who was supposed to be, you know, this team that's in high form and that, and we were outstanding and beat them 40-odd points to 12. And then we went to Halifax and we had a score to settle, didn't we? And we beat them 54 points to 12, and it was outstanding. And, you know, I look back at that when Q and Scotty Turner chased down the wing, chasing Rob Warrensy, was probably one of the fastest players in the comp, with 1 minute to go, and we're winning 50-odd points to something like 12, and they didn't need to do that. That was a special effort, and the next man into that collision was Missy Talapapa. So all the back three was all there in the final corner on the other side of the pitch, working together, and you know, that was a special moment for me. But then, you know, going to Lee 4 days after the great performance against against Halifax and turning them over. But I suppose you've got to rank the grand final performance and everything about the day was fitting for the players. That the commitment, their attitude, the desire to be the best it could be was there and evident for all to see. And it means so much, doesn't it? And there's people whose belief from minute 1 13 years ago when we set the club back up that we could get back to some sort of some level. We've certainly achieved that now, and hopefully people start recognising that. We're immensely proud of a scholarship who's won games this year, as academy who's won games in the Super League environment, has reserved some good young players coming through, and then obviously immensely proud of what the first team delivered throughout the season, but particularly on Sunday against a very strong Featherstone team.
As you've alluded to earlier, there's people leaving.
Yeah, it's sad, isn't it? There's a lot of good people leaving. You talk about Simon Brown, who's been outstanding in the playoffs. Sam Scott, who's been outstanding. Both of them are going to York. Ryan Epworth going to Dewsbury, and Ryan needs to play first team rugby at his time in his career, and I couldn't give him that. Alex Rowe, who's been very strong for us as well over the years, so he's going to Batley. So there's people leaving, and it's what happens in sport, and I will never hold anybody back. And if they think or we think that that we can't guarantee in first team rugby, then they believe they can get it elsewhere, then that's what they should do. And we're excited about the people we're going to bring in as well. I'd like to thank them personally, the boys who are leaving, and say thank you very much for the years that you've given us and the commitment. And then there's the new guys coming in, isn't there? That we're excited to work with, and people like Garside, Matty Garside, and Tom Armstrong, Colton Roach, and James Davey and people like that. So one thing that we've always spoke about over the years is that continuity will bring consistency, and we don't seem to change too many players. Once they're in, they're sticking and they're staying, and that's important to us. And there's one special person, I suppose, one person that's come a long way in a very short space of time, which is Tim Bergen, and he's been outstanding not only on the field sometimes. He hasn't played much this year. We all know about that. He's had the dreaded osteus pubis where he wouldn't allow him to play rugby league, but the work he's done off the field has been massive for us, and getting kids and getting into assemblies and doing a little bit of marketing for the club, because we do need to make the profile of the club bigger, and there's still people who I've met this year who were massive Sheffield Eagles supporters over the early years that thought that we'd gone and there were no more Sheffield Eagles. So Tim's done a massive part of trying to get to know us again, get to know Sheffield Eagles and different campaigns, and we've had a lot of success. And I'd like to personally thank him for the hard work he's put in full time with the club over the last couple of years.